He's been declared ahead of Dorian's anticipated arrival come later this week. Kate?
All right, Morgan Chesky, thank you. And as residents of Puerto Rico braced for Dorian, President Trump blasted the island's leaders who were critical of his response to Maria in 2017. NBC's Peter Alexander's at the White House for us. Peter, those leaders now firing back.
Yeah, Kate, that's right. Tonight, the mayor of San Juan is criticizing President Trump for his tweets this morning as the storm was barreling toward the island. The president bashing Puerto Rico as one of the most corrupt places on earth, calling its political system broken and insisting that he is the, quote, best thing that ever happened to Puerto Rico. San Juan's mayor, a frequent Trump critic, responding, "This is not about him. This is about saving lives." As for the storm, President Trump says FEMA is ready, Kate, and will do a great job.
All right, Peter, at the White House, thank you. There's late word of a shakeup in the 2020 presidential race. Kirsten Gillibrand, the senator from New York, announcing late today she's dropping out of the crowded Democratic primary after she failed to qualify for the third debate next month. Gillibrand, who championed women's issues, could not gain enough traction with donors or in the polls. Also breaking the new mass shooting plot that authorities say they have foiled tonight. A student at High Point University in North Carolina arrested with guns in his dorm. NBC's Steve Patterson on what police say he was planning and how they caught him.
Good afternoon, sir. You're in court today.
The 19-year-old suspect appearing in court via video conference today.
Are you accepting this attorney's services as your attorney?
Yes, that's okay.
Prosecutors say High Point University student Paul Stieber wanted to carry out America's next mass shooting, but that campus security guards foiled the alleged plot when they confiscated this 9mm semi-automatic handgun and 12-gauge shotgun plus ammunition from his dorm room. Prosecutors say Stieber, a Boston native, planned to shoot up the school, confessing his timeline to kill people had been planned since December and that he had studied other mass shootings.
He definitely had a plan and had been researching.
The district attorney told the court Stieber chose to enroll at school in North Carolina because it was easier to buy weapons. State law prohibits the possession of firearms on school grounds. Stieber faces charges for having weapons on campus and for communicating a threat of mass violence. University officials say they discovered the alleged plot when other students alerted security. Kate?
Steve Patterson, thank you. Up next tonight, the new threat from North Korea. Growing concerns Kim Jong-un could be building a submarine capable of firing nuclear missiles. NBC's Andrea Mitchell has the new photo evidence.
New satellite images from North Korea suggesting what could be a major new nuclear threat from the regime. Kim Jong-un's first submarine able to fire ballistic missiles, according to two national security experts. No test appears imminent, but this appears to confirm Kim's claim last month when he inspected a new submarine.
A nuclear-tipped missile launch from a submarine would mean they'd be very hard to track, very hard to target, very hard to preemptively stop.
More evidence that despite 3 meetings with President Trump over the past 14 months, Kim is expanding and improving his weapons, not denuclearizing as he had promised. Still, the president keeps downplaying a barrage of recent short-range missile launches, all banned by the UN.
I have confidence that in the end, Kim Jong-un, who I've gotten to know very well, will do the right thing.
Kim Jong-un is expected to speak Thursday in a rare second meeting this year of his rubber-stamped National Assembly, perhaps an occasion to signal whether he is finally ready to resume those stalled nuclear talks with the U.S. Kate?
Andrea, thank you. Tonight, the UK may be on the brink of a constitutional crisis. The Queen has approved Prime Minister Boris Johnson's plan to suspend Parliament from early September to mid-October. The surprise move blasted by opposition lawmakers, one calling it a coup. They now have less time to debate Johnson's plan for a Brexit divorce from the European Union by the October 31st deadline. At this hour, an urgent manhunt is underway in the Southwest for 2 married murder suspects after police say they made a daring escape from custody. We get more tonight from NBC's Gadi Schwartz.
Tonight, 2 murder suspects, husband and wife, on the run after escaping custody. Blaine Barksdale, a man authorities say is associated with the Aryan Brotherhood, and his wife Susan are prime suspects in the murder of 72-year-old Frank Bly, whose home was burned in Tucson in April. His body was never found, while the couple was arrested a month later hiding out in New York.
Yes, sir.
But Monday, the murder suspects, while being transported back to Arizona by a private security company, somehow overpowered their guards in the small town of Blanding, Utah. Tonight, no comment from investigators on exactly how they were able to escape. Authorities saying they believe the two are armed and dangerous, driving a red pickup truck like this one with front-end damage. At this point, police honing their search around Arizona, but saying by now they could be almost anywhere in the United States. Gotti Schwartz, NBC News.
Ahead of this Labor Day, health officials in a number of states are warning residents to be cautious outside in areas where mosquitoes could be spreading a rare but deadly virus. NBC's Miguel Almaguer has how to protect yourself.
More than a pest, tonight some mosquitoes from the Midwest to the East Coast are carrying a virus that can kill people in days. Spreading across wet, warm regions where mosquitoes thrive, Eastern equine encephalitis, or EEE, is being detected at an alarming rate.
Her brain is trying to heal itself, and she can't do anything until that happens.
14-year-old Savannah DeHart is one of 3 suspected cases in Michigan.
It's been probably the worst time of my life. I watched my daughter almost check out.
While extremely rare, EEE is incredibly deadly, a mortality rate of 30%. With no vaccine, the virus targets the central nervous system, causing swelling of the brain. Mother and wife, Lori Sylvia, died over the weekend, the 4th confirmed case of EEE in Massachusetts.
This is one of the most deadly mosquito-borne infections.
With nearly 30 communities now at critical risk in the state, tonight health officials are warning residents in parts of New Jersey, Michigan, and Massachusetts to avoid outdoor activity during dusk and dawn. The heightened concern comes just before the holiday weekend as many flock to the outdoors. The advice is simple: use bug spray with DEET on your body and your clothes and avoid standing water where mosquitoes breed. Tonight, a warning: protect yourself from a small bug with a deadly bite. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News, New York.
A teenage climate activist whose passion for the planet has attracted global attention arrived in New York City today. The young environmentalist chose to travel on a zero-emissions yacht, and she invited fans to share the journey. Here's Kelly Kobiea.
Tonight, climate activist Greta Thunberg is back on dry land after 15 days at sea.
All of this is very overwhelming.
The 16-year-old Swedish student, who started a global youth movement when she went on strike from school last year, set sail from England August 14th for New York and the United Nations Climate Conference. Taking a boat, she said, because flying is terrible for the planet.
So I think this will be fun.
Sharing her maiden voyage with her 2 million social media followers. Tweeting, "It's like camping on a roller coaster. And on day 8, you really lose sense of time." But one day stood out.
So it's very rough with very high waves.
That bad weather making them just one day late.
It is insane that a 16-year-old have to cross the Atlantic Ocean to make a stand.
After 2 weeks to stare at the ocean and think about the planet. Kelly Kobiea, NBC News.
Much more ahead tonight, including the threat from sharks ahead of this Labor Day, the new high-tech mission to prevent attacks in the water, and then a new phone scam alert and the police captain who turned the tables. And jaw-dropping images: an erupting volcano sends tourists running. Stay with us. After a summer of shark attacks, sightings, and beach closures, a Massachusetts community wants to learn more about the predators lurking offshore. NBC's Ann Thompson headed out to sea with a team of researchers to find out what they're learning.
Nantucket, the charming resort island, once a whaling hub, is now on the lookout for sharks. Jason Bridges is a business owner and a selectman.
What kind of threat does a shark attack pose to Nantucket?
Our economy is 100% on tourism. We have to be really, really careful about everything that happens at our beaches.
So the island is partnering with OCEARCH, a shark research group led by Chris Fisher, this month working 5 miles off Nantucket's coast.
Locally here at Nantucket, we're trying to create a program where we give that community the maximum amount of data for its sharks for their own public safety management so they can be prepared if they have an incident.
Among the most unnerving of the 17 science projects on this expedition, Georgia Tech's Zoe Pratt, trying to collect bacteria from a shark's mouth to help the island's doctors treat potential bites.
If somebody gets bit by a shark, the doctors are going to have a specific information regarding which bacteria there and how to treat them.
Tagging and tracking sharks like this great white named Ack will let Alan Worden's community data platform layer information about where the sharks are with the number of people on beaches.
Can data make Nantucket's waters safer?
We can see what the sharks are doing and how they're behaving. We can absolutely start to understand when there are high-impact times, what beaches are maybe more dangerous.
Using science to reveal the mysteries of the sea so vacationers have only happy memories. Ann Thompson, NBC News, Nantucket, Massachusetts.
Interesting research coming up. This police captain's warning after she was targeted by a scam caller. And escaping the volcano, tourists fleeing this explosive eruption. Today, a fiery volcanic eruption on the Italian island of Stromboli sent people running for cover. Plumes of smoke and ash shot into the air as lava poured down the volcano's steep slopes and into the sea. There were no immediate reports of injuries. The Stromboli volcano is one of the world's most active volcanoes. 2 months ago, a hiker was killed after an eruption. Here's a twist on yet another story about criminals using phone scams to trick people into giving up personal information. This week, the tables were turned on one con artist when a police captain answered the call. NBC's Tom Costello has more on how the scammer got scammed.
Can you verify me or whom I'm with?
No, I will not.
Ann Stevens admits she enjoyed messing with the scammer.
I need you to verify me with the last 4-digit number of your Social Security.
I'm not going to confirm my Social Security number with you.
Without a clue he was talking to an Apex, North Carolina police captain, the phone crook claimed he was a Social Security officer, and in 45 minutes she'd be arrested on serious charges.
Like money laundering, drug trafficking, and for Internal Revenue Service.
I'm going to be charged with drug trafficking?
Absolutely.
The sheriff's department's not coming to get me. I'm pretty sure of that.
She posted the video as a warning to victims, especially the elderly.
We wanted them to see they're going to use any tactic they can to try to scare you into believing that something's going to happen so you'll give up your personal information. And we just want people to know, never do that.
If you do not tell me how many bank accounts you have, we'll go ahead and suspend all the bank accounts which are connected to your Social Security. Do not blame us if you lose any money.
Eventually, the bad guy hung up.
So, folks, these are scam calls. Don't ever give out your information.
The good news? This scammer has now gone viral. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
Love that. Up next, Inspiring America. A high school senior has a sweet but slightly embarrassing way of welcoming his little brother home from school every single day. Finally, in tonight's Inspiring America, a Louisiana teenager shows us how brotherly love can be expressed in so many different ways and so many different costumes. Here's Katie Beck.
Riding the bus home from school for some kids is a routine ritual, but not 12-year-old Max Tingle. He gets a welcoming party. Well, party of one, his older brother, Noah. For the past 12 days of the new school year, meeting Max at the curb in costume and Mom capturing every silly moment of it.
Were you embarrassed?
A lot.
So it worked?
It worked.
Greetings as a gorilla, a farmer, a firefighter, a ninja, Santa Claus, and today a minion.
There's love on both sides through the whole thing.
Noah, a high school senior, wanted to share some funny memories with Max before he heads off to college. The afternoon charade gaining thousands of followers on Facebook. And now strangers as far as Hawaii are mailing costume donations.
This is just normal. This is just how we are. I mean, there was nothing special about this than the other stuff me and him do together.
It shows how good of brothers we are.
5 years apart in age is about all that can separate these two, now known to online fans as the Bus Stop Brothers.
We want our kids to be a light in the world, and I think they're kind of being that right now.
Finding the joy in life's simple things. No disguising that. Katie Beck, NBC News, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Such a great idea. That is Nightly News on a Wednesday. I'm Kate Snow. For all of us here, have a great night.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.